Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, February 4th, only 1 week until ETHDenver kicks off with our Biddle Week on February 11th, and less than 2 weeks until the main event. I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to get excited. It feels real. We're going to see each other in Denver and virtually in the Discord in our virtual castle. And we're going to come together for the first time in what feels like a long time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you all there. If you see me, please say hi. I am Derek Coleman, the community steward here at ETHDenver, and we've got a jam-packed stream for you today to help you be most prepared and most successful at ETHDenver. First up, I have the pleasure of introducing two people from Alchemy, Albert and Elon, who are going to tell us about what Alchemy is helping us with this year. Hi, how are you both doing today?
Great. Thanks for
What's
having
up
us.
there?
Yeah, good to see you both. I'll let you take it away to tell us what's going on.
Awesome. So on the Alchemy side, we have the absolute pleasure of being the official node sponsor for the entire ETHDenver conference. And we're super, super excited about that. So what this means exactly is that every single hacker at ETHDenver this year is going to get 2 free months of growth tier. So Albert, do you want to tell everyone a little bit more about what Alchemy does?
Yeah, Alchemy is a full suite developer platform for blockchain development. We have really good infrastructure services that allow you to basically read and write from the blockchain with very high availability, data consistency, reliability. So anytime you're shipping your smart contract, you can deploy through Alchemy, and you can also interact with it through Alchemy. And then we also have a ton of enhanced APIs to help you get the data that you need without having to index it, organize it, sort through it yourself. And one of the things we're most excited about is NFT API. We just launched this yesterday. We've heard a lot from the community that everyone is building on top of NFT projects right now. So we've built out some APIs to help you get the data you need to build those applications as fast as possible.
And we'll actually be hosting a workshop solely dedicated for the NFT API. So those of you who want to learn how to use it and how to leverage it for your NFT projects, definitely show up to the workshop. We just launched it publicly yesterday, so it's a super, super cool product there. Awesome. Yeah, but generally very, very excited to see what you guys build. And look out at the conference, both virtually and in person. We'll be giving away 2 free months of growth tier. And the reason for this is so that you guys can have no problem building and scaling while you're at the conference and hacking on your projects. And then afterwards, and you want to continue building on your project, you absolutely can without having to run into any issues or capacity planning. So really, really excited for you guys to build and see what you're working on.
Yep. Tweet at us on Twitter or join our Discord. We have a ton of great engineers in there kind of providing support for each other. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Before you go, I want to say, first of all, thank you for being the official node sponsor. And second of all, I got my start in the Web3 space through Raid Guild. For those that don't know, it's a service DAO that does web dev. Shout outs to Raid Guild. And Alchemy was the provider that I used to launch my very first smart contract. Unbeknownst to the client, it was the first smart contract I'd developed and written, but now it's in production. So I have a lot of gratitude in my heart for Alchemy and the tools y'all provide, because even somebody brand new to the system like me was able to use it not only to play around, but to do real work and make real money. So thank you for all you do.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's a super cool story.
Well, I look forward to seeing you both at ETHDenver. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, class.
Thanks, Derek.
See you guys.
See you later. Up next, I am so excited to introduce the Witnet team. These WittyNet folks, Adon and Thomas, are gonna, and please correct me if I pronounce your names wrong, are gonna tell us a little bit more about, oh yes, I nailed it on Adon, I see the accent. I do, Thomas or Tomas? Good to see you. So I'm gonna let you take the floor and tell us a little bit more about our Witnet integration. There's a lot to say, so I'll get out of your way. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us. Perfect. So what's this Witty Bufficorns thing, and why is the Witnet team talking about this? Witty Bufficorns is a presential and virtual hybrid experience that we are preparing to gamify and networking and connecting with other builders in person during ETHDenver. We are preparing this in cooperation with the ETHDenver organizers. This game is brought to you by Witnet, the multi-chain decentralized oracle that can power and secure most DeFi primitives like price feeds, stablecoin synthetics, and so on, and also act as a reliable source of randomness for creating uniqueness in NFT and gaming use cases. Witnet is already live on Ethereum, Polygon, Harmony, Cello, Metis, Conflux, and KuCoin community chain, and we will also be live on Avalanche, Optimism, Arbitrum, Binance Smart Chain, and many others soon. So what's this game about? It's a game about rising Bufficorns. Each ETHDenver attendee will be given a special badge that will identify them as a Bufficorn breeder, and they will play the role of a Bufficorn breeder. The goal of this game is to raise the best Bufficorn and to become the best breeder by generating and trading resources with the other players, with the other breeders. So you won't be alone in this mission. When you join the game, you will be given this physical medal, this physical badge that will identify you as a member of one of the 6 different ranches that exist in the game. And each of these ranches is named after one of the presenting sponsors of ETHDenver. So you have Algorand, you have Harmony, Balancer, Reef, Vega, and Opolis. So here in this screenshot of the Witty Bufficorns web app, you can see that each of the different ranches will take care of 4 Bufficorns as a team, as a group, and you need to cooperate with the other members of your ranch to improve the different traits that the Bufficorns have. And these magical creatures, the Bufficorns, they need a lot of different resources to improve in the different traits. So, for example, they need the warm hay to improve their coats. They need the fresh grass to improve their coolness. And you also have intelligence, you have speed, vigor, and the stamina. So the resources themselves are acquired by trading with other breeders, by simply scanning the QR codes that will be printed on the back side of the badges that they will be wearing as pendants. When you scan somebody's badge, you are generating the resource that your an amount of the resource that your ranch produces, and you will be giving this amount to the other player. So don't forget to get the other player to also scan your QR code so that you can also get the resource from their ranch. Of course, each of the different ranches produces a different resource, and you can very easily identify which ranch can produce and provide each of the resources that you need for improving your own Bufficorns by matching the colors. So, for example, if the Bufficorns in your ranch are lagging behind in speed, then the speed is the yellow trait. So you need to find someone who's wearing one of the yellow badges, which is the star badge of the all Algorand. And this game will run from Thursday 17th all through Sunday 20th, so all through the duration of the ETHDenver main event. However, you will be able to join, and you should join the pre-game to start getting familiar with the game, with the dynamics, and to start scoring points before the 17th. In fact, the Bufficorn scores achieved during this pre-game will be translated to the main game only divided by 10. So it's a very interesting thing to do to also get some head start. The prizes will be distributed as NFTs as NFT medals on Polygon, so that you can proudly and very affordably show off your medals in your OpenSea profile along all your NFTs and POAPs and so on. So everybody will be getting a medal just for participating with their breeder score and with their position in the ranking of the breeders. And then there are different medals for the best Bufficorns, for the best ranches, and also for the best breeders, and also for the Bufficorns that stand out in each of the different traits. So you have medal for breeding the fastest Bufficorn, the coolest Bufficorn, etc. There are plenty of medals, so chances are that any player will be getting at least a couple of them. And additionally, we are preparing bonus prizes. We are preparing some physical rewards too. and some crypto raffles for those who mint the metal NFTs on Polygon. In addition to all of these, in parallel, we are cooperating with the ETHDenver organizers and also with the POAP team to do this POAP scavenger hunt. So all over the different venues of the ETHDenver event, and also in other interesting and secret locations in Denver, around Denver, you will find these QR codes that are labeled POAP scavenger hunt. If you scan these QR codes with your regular QR code scanning app of your camera app, you will be able to claim the POAP specific to that location, as usual, as with many other events that do the POAP thing. However, if this time, if you scan these same QR codes from within the Witty Bufficorn's web app, you will be getting some special bonuses and many other surprises that you will need to discover. So that's pretty much how the game will go, and I hope to see you all in Denver in a few days and to see you all participating.
I could not be more excited for this integration. It is very ambitious, and the fact that you're handling networking, making it fun, making it Bufficorn themed, more features than Pokemon Go, and integrating with POAPs so that people can be scanning POAPs, but also upgrading the Bufficorns on their ranch, all incredible. And one thing that I appreciate is that there's the team aspect to it, that people are going to be working together. It's positive sum, just like all the things we do in this space. We're helping each other out, making new connections, and trying to get the coolest Bufficorn. The symbols are very fun to me. I think that it's super funny that the symbol of coolness for the Infinite Harmony farm is a weed leaf. If anyone didn't catch that,
it's an icon of Colorado.
it is what it is. I'm really looking forward. Hope I'm on the Harmony farm. So thank you all so much again. People are already really excited. Anyone that's had a chance to preview it and the people watching live are just going to have a lot of questions for you. So I hope you're ready for us to be rushing your booth to get our badges. Thank you so much again for joining us, gentlemen. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek. See you in Denver.
Have a great rest of your day. See you in Denver. Okay. Up next, I would love to introduce Russell on behalf of Colorado Jam, one of the most important but least understood aspects of this big organization we call SportDAO. Russell, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks, Eric. I'm doing great. I'm super excited to get things rocking and rolling here.
Yeah, happy to have you landing on your feet. So what can we look forward to hearing from you today?
Well, the first thing is I think a lot of people want to understand why the state is so committed to collaborating with the blockchain ecosystem. And there's no states. If I'm speaking just generally to state government, there are no production blockchain applications for state government anywhere, right? That isn't out there. It takes a while to get these things going. And what we have been doing over the last 2 years of our participation across the ETHDenvers and the Game Jam with the lottery and SportDAO and all these different things is we are trying to find what that breakthrough application, that breakthrough service is going to be, to where we can actually provide a service that is that's state government, right? But also has blockchain technology and shows and makes a safer path for other states to follow. In the same way that Digital Token Act and all those kinds of things are legislatively trying to figure out, trying to show a path forward for communities that want to do things like like Opolis and what they're doing and different like the cooperative law and things like that. We're trying to get where the rubber meets the road with actual applications. So we had, last year we had some amazing bounties that we awarded as part of the hackathon, and it was it was something to see. And it was, most of these government folks that we're working with, they don't, there's me and there's Thad, who's our blockchain our blockchain architect, but there's not really a lot of understanding as to what you can get done. There's a general concept, and the more people see things, the more it starts clicking, and they start saying, oh, well, this is an option. This is an option. We saw that over the last 2 years with digital ID, to where in Colorado, there's now over 600,000 people who have the digital license, digital driver's license or state ID, and they're actually using it. It took a while before people understood what that meant. And in blockchain, it's even harder because you have a lot of these applications that require, MetaMask or some other wallet to be added on, and it adds a level of complexity. I mean, one big problem with Web3 apps in general is they look good until they stop working, and then no one has any idea how to fix them, right? It's just impossible. So as a government provider, we have to make things so stupid simple so that anyone can use it, right? It doesn't fail. And I think what gets me really, really jazzed is we have two bounties that have a really, really good chance of resulting in something that could be state government's first production application, right? And if that doesn't get, if that doesn't give you like sort of tingles in your the bottom of your spine, then you really haven't embraced, you haven't gone down the rabbit hole enough and embraced what blockchain really could mean, for the world. And this is the opportunity. We've got all the things that we need here in Colorado to show the world just what blockchain can do, right? And we're not talking about like investment clubs with DAOs. We're talking about digital communities that make a difference for people. We're not talking about like a new way of fundraising. We're not talking about those kinds of things. We're talking about a new way of implementing democratic governance over cooperatives, over organizations, businesses, entities, whatever that is. It is mind-blowing. So we've got these two bounties of the four that we have. Two of them are the ones I think are going to be, I'm just the most excited to see. One of them is, rules in the state of Colorado. They are, lots of different agencies come up with rules associated with like licensing or what have you, and they're all published on the Secretary of State's website. But it's really hard if you don't know what you're looking for or who may have come up with a rule. If you want to start a new business here and not, it's really hard to know what rules apply to your business or to your license or to your whatever you do. And so there was a bill that provided funding and everything to enable a better like real language search for that. But one of the components of that bill was to allow a feedback mechanism to go directly from individuals to the agencies. Now, if you've ever looked on on any sort of social media board or any sort of feedback, it's just all spam. People are making political statements about it, and they're making fake names and all. And so what this component is, we want to integrate digital identity through My Colorado with blockchain to provide basically so that the agencies that receive messages, like somebody may be submitting an improvement or requesting a clarification about rules, they could then be updated and up to make the rule better. But they'd know that they're actually talking to someone who is a Coloradan, who is the actual person. You can facilitate a conversation instead of a yelling match over the internet, which is what typically happens. If you're using your Facebook login or your Discus, login, and so. That one is a pretty low lift, but a pretty substantial improvement if you think about it from an agency standpoint. Oh, we don't have to get a bunch of spam anymore. At least we're talking to real people, right?
That's huge.
And then the other one, which is quite frankly even more exciting, is for the Department of Agriculture, who's been really trying to find a way to dip their toe in blockchain for a while. There was even funding a few years ago to do something, and then the legislature turned around and said, oh, you can't do like a blockchain-based registration system for cattle, So that sort of dashed some hopes that like the beef chain guys had and everything. But this one is there's a branding database, and it's not like marketing branding. It is brands on cattle, right? Oh. And it's a really
like cattle NFTs.
that's part of it. That's like one of the bonuses is reimagining this registry, the search and all of that kind of stuff, and the registration process, but also making it so that a brand could offer up their brand as an NFT. So you can make a derivative NFT as long as, in the smart contract, you've got revenue going back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know if anybody's going to be able to do it, but the idea behind it, we're hoping that people get far enough along to really get the creative juices flowing for everyone. Mm-hmm. Because I think I was showing a couple people at agriculture the Butters NFT talk from South Park, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that clip, it is amazing. But it's really funny, but it's frighteningly accurate about NFTs. And they smiled and said, "Okay, let's try this." So they're excited. They don't have a lot of money to throw into different things, and leveraging the Colorado Jam Incubator is going to be a great way to move that forward. I'm really hoping that some of the contestants or the team members from the last 2 years are gonna come again this year, because we had such great entries last year. It was really, it was just so exciting, and to have it in person and to have it across like half a dozen venues, it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, we're all scaling. One thing I love that you said there is that for me, part of what Web3 offers is a way of building a new infrastructure for how value flows. Like DAOs are an example of people working together, just like workers' co-ops have for centuries. And in that same way, I love that you're saying we want to move beyond the ICO phase of our existence, where we're just asking for money and it's all hype, and bring it down to the earth, literally like people raising cattle, and try to give them new incentive opportunities, new ways of building out their business models, just to experiment and participate in this sort of Cambrian explosion of ideas that we're having. Because I want to see it go beyond the technologists, the early adopters, and start impacting the real lives of more and more Coloradans, so that we can be an example.
We've got so many cool balls rolling, and I feel like we've lost a little headway because of the pandemic.
Sure.
But everybody has, so it's not like we're behind the 8 ball. We would have liked to make more progress, but I really think we can come out of this, especially as just over the last 2 years, blockchain technology, Web3 technology, what we've learned about usability has changed, has evolved in such a way that we're in a great position to come up with, this may be the year it breaks out and we have real government applications.
We're calling it the year of mass adoption informally. We're really excited. We're seeing that. I mean, ETHDenver alone has had 8 times the number of applicants for in-person as we had for 2020. It's, we're trying our best to scale and to meet the demand, and to be, we're free to attend and always will be. Speaking of taking us to the past, I would love to hear a little bit more, because I don't actually know my lore super well here. What's the nature of our relationship with the state of Colorado and Colorado Jam's genesis story? Who talked to who, and what's the idea here?
Sure. So, we were in 2019, we had the blockchain architect for the first year. We wanted to be a part of the ecosystem and see what we could come up with. And we started the Colorado Forward bounties as part of the hackathon that was along with ETHDenver. And we liked it. And then we liked it so much that the then director of the Department of Revenue liked it so much that she did the Game Jam, right? And the Game Jam was a collaboration with ETHDenver on coming up with blockchain-based non-skill games that the lottery could potentially use, which was really fun. Chainlink was a big, and it was totally funded by private industry, throwing ideas out there and everything, and then coming out of it. And so we got together and like, okay, we cannot make any promises about procuring software to startups or teams that don't even necessarily have an organization.
Sure.
It's hard to procure open source. you know, because it's hard to know what the procurement is, and it's really difficult to navigate, like doing an RFP or something like that. So we wanted some way then that we could be a part of the ecosystem, but not make promises that we couldn't fulfill, and not be basically get potentially punished for having, you know, for spending a bunch of money on some very, very experimental technologies. So what we came to with Colorado Jam Incubator was, look, we can have teams, we can have the community, right, through the Sport DAO fund the actual projects that we choose, as long as we commit to, look, we'll be your alpha testers, we'll have subject matter experts committed to your project to help you along and give you feedback. And also, you can say to, as you move out of like the Colorado Jam Incubator and into trying to provide a service, not only can you offer it up in something that Colorado could buy, but you then have a client that vouches for the service that you've used already, that it's gone through the trenches, and you can go to production and to other state, local governments, what have you, with that service. So that, a lot of times, if you've ever been in a startup, I've been in too many of them now, those initial use cases and really hammering out the functionality that you need for those first 3 customers is so important, because that's what you're going to use as your repeatable model. So that's really where we've wanted to go. And that's the disappointment about this past year, has just been the pandemic overwhelmed all of us, And I mean, we had a snow day, Wednesday we had a snow day in state government. It was the first time we've had a snow day or anything like that in 2.5 years, right? Everyone's like, wait, we can take a snow day even though 95% are working from home? Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Great.
But we've wanted to do more, and the Colorado Jam puts us in a position where we're not making commitments that we can't do, but we're potentially gaining a lot of benefit. We're learning a lot, and we're educating all of our executive directors and their staff and all the departments about what is possible. And once they understand what is possible, then they can start reimagining what their work is. I think we've identified from another bill that came out last year, something like 200 services that we have throughout that, not online, not digital at all, they're paper. We could take some of those services and leverage blockchain and Web3 technologies to implement those in a way that is not, that ends up saving money, because paper costs money, believe it or not, to process that stuff. It costs a lot of time and hours.
I'm sure. And space and people.
We can really do some pretty amazing things. So that's why the state is interested. That's why, governor, the reason I took my job was because I was right there at the legislature when the Digital Token Act got signed, and he's like, Colorado's in blockchain for the win. And everything I've seen personally about that is the truth. We're not like bleeding or cutting edge, because we're government, right?
Yeah.
But what we are is doing our best to figure out what the place is for blockchain in government. I mean, you got Thad Bat, who I already mentioned, our blockchain architect. He is always digging in to try and find those use cases that we can make a safe enough space for an executive director to put her tush on the line there for that, right? Because if it goes, you don't get a lot of attaboys when you're in government, but you do get plenty of tisks, and those are not good.
No. And let that be a lesson and an invitation to all the people listening that are thinking about building projects. We have a lot of leeway here at ETHDenver. You get to do new ideas, be creative, throw something out there, throw it together in a couple of days with people you just met. When it comes to getting it across the finish line and turning it into something real and scaling it, we also have that infrastructure. And I think that's one of the things that we uniquely offer, is a very serious long-term relationship and partnership. that's the old Naval quote, play long-term games with long-term people. That's what we're all here to do. So I really appreciate everything that you and the team are doing over there.
Thanks. And yeah, that's the thing I guess I didn't mention is that after the hackathon is done, like we select teams that can be part of the Sport DAO, right? Part of Colorado Jam and move on, right?
You called it an incubator, right? In a very real
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. So.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to drop on us today? I know that was a lot, and I really appreciate you joining us.
I want to say, first of all, to the people from Colorado, the developers and teams in Colorado, that I appreciate all the work everyone's doing. There are so many cool, projects from Opolis to Gitcoin and SportDAO and all these other ones that are out there. And for everybody that's coming to Colorado for ETHDenver or tuning in to ETHDenver from wherever, we welcome you into our community here, whether you're local or not, knowing that we're all trying to work for a new, co-op of the future model, a new collaborative governance model of the future that might just be the only way to get us past all this, polarized government and polarized governance that is stopping so much other progress. So yeah, thank you to everybody that's going to be a part of this. And at the state, we are super duper happy.
Yeah, really happy to have you and to playing more long-term games. I'll see you around, Russell. I look forward to seeing you in Denver.
Thanks. Take care.
Have a good one. So up next, I have the pleasure of walking you through a few announcements, a little bit of housekeeping, a few more raffle-type prizes. I like keeping it spicy, keeping it hot. So if we can run these slides all the way to the back, I think we're going 12 slides earlier than this. The rewind. First of all, hi everyone. I hope you've enjoyed everything so far. I know that I have. Sport DAO is real. It's ETHDenver. It's Colorado Jam. We just talked to Russell. It's Bufficorn Ventures, the private funding. It's also the community. All four of those, ETHDenver, Colorado Jam, Bufficorn Ventures, and the community writ large, form the four prongs of Sporky, who you see here in the middle, our beloved Sporky. I think Sporky doesn't get enough love. The Bufficorn and the Bufficway get too much attention. It's Sporky's time to shine. Today, I'm going to run you through a few things. We're going to talk about applications. We're going to talk about our VIP ticket raffle one last time. I have updates for our mountain retreat and a couple links that are going to help you be successful at this year's event. It's a lot to cover, so let's dig in. First up, get your applications in, folks. We've been tweeting it like madmen. What you need to do, if you haven't applied yet, is realize today's the last day. Our applications, next slide, please. Our applications are fully open until 2 p.m. Mountain. 2 p.m. Mountain, which is just in a couple hours from now. We timed this intentionally so that I, being here right in front of you, could be the last chance reminder. It's going to be a wait list after that, and your chances of getting in decrease dramatically. So if you or anyone you love hasn't applied yet, last chance. Do it. ETHDenver.com/apply. Moving on. So last week, I walked us through a Sport Whale VIP ticket raffle. I'm going to run that information back because, like the application, it also changes dramatically in a couple hours when we close it up and announce our winners. So what is a VIP ticket? Quick recap, the VIP ticket, people are paying $2,000 for these. Some were bought yesterday, I am aware. What does it give you? Why is someone willing to pay $2,000 for a ticket to an event that's free to attend? Well, it gets you guaranteed castle access. Said it last time, I'll say it again. We have a lot more people this year, and we have a lot more venues. We're spreading out, we're growing, we're evolving. And that's going to mean that there's going to be wait lines at our venues, depending on what time of day we're talking about. You won't always be able to get into the exact thing that you want to, but the good news is there's a lot of amazing stuff going on around. So embrace that community spirit. What this badge would let you do, though, is walk straight on into the castle any time of day for the entire main event. It's pretty convenient if you're looking for that experience. It also lets you into some of our VIP, very special parties. I happen to be a part of calls where we're talking about the people we're going to have performing at these parties. It's pretty exciting. So if you would like to attend some of those, You can get VIP access to our Thursday opening party, our Friday party, our Saturday party, and our Sunday VIP after party. What? Listen, if you're a party person, you're foaming at the mouth. If that's not your thing, great. I have 2 more things to tell you. There's also a Spork Whale Lounge for Spork Whales only. Let me tell you, the couches are nice, and the drinks are even nicer. And there's also going to be a Bufficorn Lounge over in the Jonas venue, which will be open to all Bufficorns. Any Bufficorn holder gets in, just prove you on the Bufficorn, you're right in. This ticket would also let you get into that. So you get to meet all the other Bufficorns. So if that's what the ticket is, the question then becomes, how do I get one? Sure, it sounds all interesting, Derek, but let me get my hands on one. These tickets are up for free. We're giving them away, and we're giving away quite a few. All you got to do is go in our Discord and click one button. I'm seriously trying to make it easy to give you a nice thing. It's my life's dream to give away nice things and help people accomplish their dreams. This is how we do it. So because it closes right after the stream, and we're going to immediately turn around and announce the winners so you know who you are and you know to expect it at registration, there's only one question left, which is, how do I enter? Well, there's 4 easy steps, and I'm going to walk through them one at a time. You're going to get your Bufficorn, get in our Discord, get your special Bufficorn only role, ooh, and then, most importantly, we have a giveaways channel, and all you got to do is click one emoji, that little ta-da party popper. And once you click it, you are entered into our raffle. We use a fun bot to handle all the back end. These 4 steps, I'm going to show you big and enlarged classic high school teacher style. So again, number 1, on the next slide, please. You're going to mint your Bufficorn. Transition. Mint it at bufficornbiddlebrigade.com. If you haven't already, it's bufficornbiddlebrigade.com. Don't forget to spell biddle like biddle. And number 2, you're going to join our community, discord.gg/sporkdow. We paid a lot of money for the fancy Discord URL just to make it easy for you to remember. It's a CAPTCHA system. You got to do the CAPTCHA, by the way. A lot of people don't pass the CAPTCHA, and then they DM me, and I start to wonder, are you a robot? I don't know. Also, if you have a VPN, it doesn't play nice, so that's just something to be aware of. Number 3, verify your Bufficorn. We got a channel. It's called Collabland Join. All you got to do is click a button and then sign with your MetaMask to show that it's yours. Most people have done this already at this point, but I think it's still a really neat feature. Shout out to James and Anjali Young at Collabland for making this feature possible. And last but not least, where most of you can skip to because you're hanging out in the Discord and you already got your Bufficorns in your roll, is just click that little ta-da emoji there on the bottom left. 25 people are going to get a VIP ticket, which is a fairly large number considering we don't have that many people who have clicked it yet. So if you're like, this isn't for me, no one ever wins these raffles anyway, it's all a scam, they're not even giving them away. Listen, we're going to at the people who win in a couple hours. Get in there and click the dang thing. It's boring if no one participates. This is your chance. That's all I'm going to say about it. The details are, as I've said, we're going to close it up after the stream here and then announce our winners on Discord and Twitter. Forward 2 slides, please. And bringing up my beloved guest, Jason Lee.
Good morning.
Nice shirt, Jason.
Oh, I know. You got the smoke winner.
You're a busy man. You've been helping with judging and travel stuff.
And mountains and bounties.
And mountains and bounties and
oh my.
Yeah. Well, you got a little bit to tell us right now, so I'm gonna
Yes,
let
I
you
do.
have the honors.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, good morning somewhere. It might be afternoon for you, but let's just kind of jump into some of the travel and mountain retreat updates. So transportation to the mountains. So we've got a bunch of buses, and out of the buses that we have going, we only have 20 seats that are remaining. So if you are wanting to come to Breckenridge and to come and enjoy yourself on the hill, whether you're skiing, snowboarding, maybe hiking, tubing, just hanging around the town, in the city, there are only 20 seats left on the ETHDenver 2022 bus. So it's $25. If you go to ethddenver.com/retreats, you will find a link on the website that allows you to buy your ticket. That is your only way onto the bus. And once we are out, we are done with the seats. Second thing, let's talk about hotel rooms. So there is thousands of people coming to ETHDenver this year. And so all of our existing hotels are totally sold out. So we've added 2 new hotels. So there's Kimpton Hotel, and then there's the 11th Avenue Hostel. So if you're still looking for a room and you have the ability to get on a computer, if you go to ETHDenver.com/travel, you'll find an option that shows you that you can purchase a spot at Kimpton Hotel or 11th Avenue Hostel. So that is awesome there. The Holiday Inn still has rooms. However, our block rate is no longer valid. So it's discounted, but it's not going to be the full rate that we originally had on the original block of rooms. And then we're still constantly looking for new hotel rooms, and there'll be more information on that coming soon. So pay attention to Derek on Twitter and Discord for announcements, as well as maybe bookmark the ETHDenver.com/travel to stay in the loop with travel opportunities. All right, so the next thing I just want to kind of talk about is the prep guide. So we're about a week away before the hackathon or the Biddle-thon begins. So we've published what's called the Biddle Prep Guide. If you go to ethddenver.com/biddle, that's the BUIDL, you will find a prep guide. This prep guide will go through core concepts like what is blockchain, what is a DAO, what is an NFT. There's all sorts of resource guides for those that are just maybe jumping into crypto or jumping into the blockchain space. Our mentor group has built out a whole blockchain 101 section for you. So if you go to the website, you'll find that. There's also a section talking about team formation. So if you're still looking for a team to hack with at ETHDenver this year, there's a couple of different options. You can participate directly after this stream in the Discord channel, where there's an icebreaker happening. You can get to know other people, or you can show up at different events. So we have several events, I think hundreds of events actually during Biddle Week, where you can meet other people that might be interested in the technology that you're also interested in, and come up with a solution to then submit it to the judges, and then the judges will judge you, and then hopefully you win a spot to the top 30 places. Then you have kind of the rules and planning. So this is just going to kind of talk about how many people you can have on a team. So if you're not aware, you can have between 2 to 4 people on a team. This isn't a solo sport. So we are all about collaboration, and we want you to be engaging with your peers in building. So you'll find a bunch of rules and how to best prepare yourself for submitting your project for the judges. Then there's a section about travel. We kind of just talked about travel, but there's another little section talking about travel. Then there's a section about mentoring. So what is it going to look like when you start hacking and you start building? Well, if you have a question, we have hundreds of different mentors available to you that will be around and available for 24/7. Now, they might not all be available at the exact time that you want, but someone will get back to you with the question if it's like a specific or some specific question that an expert might need. And then on top of that, you also have Discord. So every sponsor, every bounty sponsor will be hanging out in the Discord channel, answering your questions. So anytime that you have a question, you'll hopefully get an answer. And then the schedule. So this year at ETHDenver, we're introducing a thing called Sketch. And Sketch is basically our entire schedule of everything that's going on at ETHDenver. It's where you'll also find photos and information about the different speakers, who the event hosts are, judges, the mentors, who's a Bufficorn holder, or if you're maybe trying to get directions on how to get from the sports castle to, say, the art hotel or temple, there's an option for that as well. But the beauty of Sketch is that you get to choose and kind of build your own plan for how you want to navigate through your amazing week at ETHDenver. So that is there. If you want to check it out, if you go to ethdenver.sketch.com, you'll find a link there. And if you're in the BIDL prep guide, you'll also find a button that you can click to jump into there. So the two key links just kind of summarize the prep guide. You got the ethdenver.com/BIDL. And then if you don't have a Bufficorn yet, you also want to make sure you BIDL that Bufficorn. So, oh, hey, Derek.
Oh, hi, Jason.
Let's see you there. Great to see you again.
Stuck in. Yeah, you too.
So just talking about the Bufficorn BIDL Brigade.
You chilling?
I am. I got my Bufficorn today.
Listen, the event's free to attend and always will be. We got to fill the treasury somehow, okay?
That's true. Well,
could we go back to Sked for a moment, please?
Yeah, sure, dude.
And I don't want to step on your toes, but out of respect for the team, they are struggling with their branding and have specifically requested we call it Sked instead of Skedge. Even though, to be fair, I say schedule, like a jewel, like a diamond. I don't say schedule, so that's on them. Some things to say about Sked here are that, one, I'm going to be making some updates today to tune it, easier to look at, fewer categories, fewer filters, just better UX overall. And two, the content for the main event is not up there just yet. We are going to be uploading it ASAP. But what is up there is all the BIDL Week stuff. It's pretty full and robust. So that alone tells you two things. The first is that ETHDenver truly starts on February 11th. People ask us in Discord all the time, like, is anyone even going to be there? If you take a look at the schedule from the 11th to the 17th, it's stacked. I'm talking multiple things at the same time. You can't even go to it all. And that's just community events. None of it we're organizing ourselves. And then two, it also gives you a chance to start preparing in advance for what you want to do. Because when there's so much to do and a little bit of that FOMO spirit rising in all of us, this tool allows you to create a custom schedule where you can save and pin your favorite things and organize your own journey through the event. Because it's not going to be possible to do that. It's not going to be possible to see everything. I mean, given that we have 6 stages, 4 in the castle, 1 in temple, 1 in the art hotel. Sometimes they're all running concurrently. It's literally not possible to see all the stuff you might want to see this year. So to you, who the spirit of FOMO has now grasped strongly, I say, we're live streaming all of those stages. Jonathan Palmer, our AV lead, is doing an amazing job coordinating all that. And the VODs, the recordings, are going to be available on Twitch, but even better, as individual videos that are easy to find on YouTube that we tweet out day of. We're going to make this as easy as possible for folks to see all the things they want to see, whether it's that day, that evening, virtually, or a month later, because there's going to be too much to take in, a lot of friends to make, and I want to make sure that people can take it at their own pace and don't get too overwhelmed. I'm basically going to be hanging out in the Bufficorn Lounge in the Zen Zone the whole time, so I'm going to have to watch Vitalik speak in March.
Oh man, are you what are they, like, just new colors, or what are you for Sked?
Oh, I was just referring to, like, currently there's 6 main types and 6 main colors, and we're just going to get it down to 3. We're going to have our talks, our workshops, and our social events. So awesome. That'll be done by end of day today. Y'all can look forward to seeing a little bit of a facelift on our Sked.
Sweet. So it's Sked.
Sked.
Sketch.
Yep, like with a D. Sked.
Sked.
Like how my name's Derek and not Jarek.
Okay, Sked. I'll have to work on that.
Regarding the Bufficorn Lounge, we got a schedule. Thank you. We got a question in Twitch chat. What's the Bufficorn Lounge? Do you need a Bufficorn NFT to enter? Thanks for asking, Dan Tranimal. The Bufficorn Lounge is a lounge only for Bufficorn holders. You need the Bufficorn NFT to enter it. If that sounds exclusive, it's because it is, okay? We paid good money for these things and we want some utility, darn it. Devs, do something. So we did. We're going to set up some couches and drinks, like I mentioned, to give people a chance to show off, oh, what's yours? Oh, mine's a zombie too. Cool. That kind of a thing. So if that sounds like exactly the party you want to be a part of, I look forward to seeing you there. Do you have anything to say regarding the team formation and the judging, like the types of questions we're seeing more and more often as we get closer to the event? Because we're about a week out from opening our doors, announcing all the bounties and saying, you start biddling now.
Okay.
What do you think people need to know?
So I'd say some of the biggest questions that I still get would be one, if we think about team formation. So how many people participate in a team? So there's two to four people make up a single team.
Mhm.
So, and then because we have two different simultaneous build-a-thons happening, you have the virtual and you have the in-person. People ask, well, can some of my team be in Denver at the in-person and some of my team be at the virtual? And
Mhm.
can I submit to the in-person? And
Mhm.
the answer is no. So if you're going to participate in the in-person Biddle-thon, you have to have the entire team present.
Mhm.
If there's, say, a person that wants to participate from virtual and 3, they would all have to participate in the virtual Build-a-thon, which is going to happen the entire same time, but it's going to end on March 21st.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit, it's a little different than maybe in the years past. It's kind of like we took 2018, 2019, 2020, and then mixed it with 2021. So
Yeah, we're
kinda
going
like
hybrid.
hybrid. That's a good word for it. So that's another big question there.
We got a couple questions from chat, if I can throw them at
Throw 'em
you
in.
while I got the expert on the line. Number one, do you have to have knowledge in programming to participate in these things?
Absolutely not. So this year, there is a lot of different types of bounties that are going on, and I've seen about 150 bounty submissions now at this point in time, and it ranges from development, it ranges from how you pitch, how you create, so how something looks. So they're looking the sponsors want to see how you're actually the UI, the UX experience.
Mm-hmm. Got to
They're
look good.
Yeah, exactly. Look good. So they want that. And then there's just there's overall impact. There's what was the other cool one that I saw? Oh, there was someone talking about actually making like all the characters kind of like we have for like the Bufficorn. So where you can create your own PFPs. There's like build a video game within it. There's all sorts of really
Ooh.
cool like creative things that we might not have seen in the past. So if you are a creative, so maybe you're a graphic designer, you're a UI UX type of person, 100% you need to become and join as a hacker. If you are a business person, marketing person, you're investing and you're looking to kind of like jump in, you should also become a participant in the build-a-thon. And then obviously if you're a developer, jump in as a developer. It really is for anyone. We want everyone and anyone that's interested in the idea of blockchain or crypto or any of the tracks to participate, because that's how we're going to ultimately build and grow our community. So
another question, hot off the press. You said, well, we can't really have the mixing of the in-person and virtual team members for the in-person Biddle-a-thon.
Yep.
But what about people that built in person and maybe they didn't get the prize they were hoping for? Can they participate in the virtual part right afterward? Because that goes later, right, to the end of March.
Correct. So you can, if you say that you participated in the in-person and then you want to keep building, that really is the whole purpose and the real big point behind the virtual build-a-thon is that we want to create a space for all the builders to continue building throughout the year. So if you compete in the in-person, you can take that project and you can continue building on it for the rest of the month and submit it again. So realistically, if the person that won, say, in person, they could resubmit it again and win the virtual one again.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Can you say, this is one of my favorite things about how hard you've been working, basically to push back on the sponsors, because some of them have said, okay, well, this particular bounty is so hard, it should only be for virtual where people have more time. Or the sponsor says, I only want to do the in-person stuff because I want to be able to judge it with my own eyes. They're in person, get to know the team. What have you been saying to them and not budging on as far as our stance related to the relationship between in-person and virtual prizes?
So the whole point has always been growth. So it's how do we continue to support the community? How do we grow the community? How are we supporting the bidlers that are coming to hack? And so the goal is to really kind of start driving more community within Discord, and part of that is also having continuation of the hackathon. So the purpose and the reason for the 50-50 is just that we want to provide those that maybe are concerned about COVID and they don't want to make the trip out, or maybe they can't make the trip out. We want people that are participating in the virtual to also have the ability to hack on the same things that the in-person people, because we're all one community. And so a lot of them have actually done that. Most of the sponsors for bounties, the bounties that are available in person are also available online. And then for those that are online, they do have some that are specifically harder challenges because you have 30 days to hack instead of 10. So and I think most people are really excited about it. And when it comes to judging, all the judges that are in person are going to be in person. So you'll be standing at your table presenting your project to 3 to 4 physical humans that are going through with you.
We have physical humans this year?
Physical humans. So we have, we're at about between 120 and 130 judges right now.
Shout outs to the judges, volunteers doing it
Yeah.
out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not
really
paid.
exciting. And I mean, you got everything from CEO, CTO, CISOs. You got
The DAO.
marketing. You got business development. You have creatives. You even have there's a guy that's really has a specialty in like high art NFTs. So looking at like valuations of that.
Talk about those Christie auction type of thing?
Yeah, like the Christie auction. The Christie, and then there's like technology companies for displaying the NFTs. There's some really cool people that are coming, and then I look at like the metaverse and the gaming world. You got venture capital that have put millions into the space. You have guys that run esports organizations. There's a lot of cool people coming. Space.
Space and New Frontier.
Yeah.
Do we have astronauts coming? Do we have aliens coming?
I think we have astronauts.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Seriously?
I think they might be speaking. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But
so speaking of all the amazing people that we have supporting us this year and all the amazing things people can look forward to diddling, thank you for your time, Jason. It's always good to have you. I have the pleasure of bringing up the Scale team now. We got Marcos Sanchez, Head of Global Communications. Hey, Marcos.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
Good. And we're also going to have Christine Perry, your VP of Solutions Engineering, and Chadwick Strange, the VP of Product, joining us. Good to have you all. How are you doing today?
Great.
Wonderful. Good to be here.
Well, Marcos, I'm going to let you take lead here.
Yeah, no worries. So welcome, everyone. We're incredibly excited to be here chatting with you live. ETHDenver is one of our highlight events of the year. We love it every year. We've been going for several years. Maybe I think I'll start this out, though, with a little quick overview of Scale. For those of you who don't know Scale, essentially, we looked at the universe and said, okay, there's some problems out there with the way things are done. Ethereum is wonderful. We're super supportive. We are very pro Ethereum, but there's issues out there around gas and the ability to do things quickly. And we want to see, and our belief is that Ethereum is going to scale to 1 billion plus people over the next maybe 2 to 4 years. And so we need to have all of the solutions available to help do that. And we wanted to create a solution that's going to basically help to take Ethereum and scale it up to that billion plus users. So we took a slightly different approach than some of the other approaches that you've seen out there today. And we said, one of the ways that we think we can do that is by creating a multi-chain environment. So it's a little bit different from your typical sidechain environment, which is really just like, hey, let's add another lane, and then we'll kind of filter traffic in there that way. Very similar to, say, perhaps how you would do with a highway, adding an HOV lane. We sort of said, wouldn't it be more interesting if we could create this universe of chains where each dApp is able to get their own individual scale chain that's just theirs to use. No one else is going to have traffic on it. And then we want to do that in a way that's going to be quick and easy to integrate. And we want to also make sure that it's going to be done in a way that doesn't have gas. So that's a little bit of what our approach is. I'd love, Chadwick, if you could maybe dive a little bit deeper and tell us a little bit about the more deeper benefits of building on scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Marcus, for that intro. Like Marcos mentioned, scale is a multi-chain network. The key component, the primitive of the network, are individual scale chains. How we help dApp developers scale their dApps on scale chains is that the scale chain is provisioned to you. It's a piece or a lease or a part, the allocation of the network with compute power that your dApp will run on. So your dApp and your community get this exclusive sort of miniaturized Ethereum blockchain that's very performance.
We just lost Chadwick. Let's see if I'll jump in. I think what Chadwick was about to say is kind of talking about some of how our Ethereum chains, essentially they're like a small Ethereum chain. It is a scale chain, as we call them, but it really is a Ethereum chain. It looks like you came back, Chadwick. You there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can we continue? Sorry about that. So yeah, scale chains are very fast. Your dApp and your community will basically use that scale chain. The nice thing is that you don't share that bandwidth with any other dApp. Like Ethereum, you're sharing between everyone else and the network increases, like your dApp and everyone else's dApp might be affected by that load. On a scale chain, your provisioned load that supports your dApp and then your ecosystem, your community. And these scale chains are fast. They have like roughly, 3 to 2 second block times. We've architected them in a way that helps unblock a lot of Solidity developers. We have a massive block gas limit of 160 million gas units. We do have at our key component it's a cost-free gas token we call S-Fuel. And as each scale chain will have a massive allocation of S-Fuel that you give out to your users and your developers to allow them to transact with the scale chain. And as they use or burn this or transact with this S-Fuel, it gets recycled back to the owner address, the basically the developer that runs that scale chain. So in this way, all your users can use and conduct transactions in a cost-free environment. So this unblocks the ability to, as your transactions increase, you basically have to spend more. We wanted to do away with that, saying, here is a part of the bandwidth of the network. You can use that bandwidth freely for your users. And each user is allocated some cost-free gas token called S-Fuel to conduct their transactions.
So gas goes away. You've got free fuel for life, which basically means free transactions for life. That's a pretty big differentiator. Christine, I would love to, because we're obviously talking about ETHDenver, we're talking about hackathons. What does this all mean for the hacker who is out there saying, I got a dApp and I want to be able to scale fast?
Yeah, it means that you can really rethink about how you approach programming on the blockchain. Like typically when developers approach developing on Ethereum, they're constrained by the gas limit and they're doing so much to optimize and throwing out code that they would otherwise love to use but can't because of the gas costs. And what we're saying is that, keep, the same idea alive, but bring that over to scale. And when you run it in that environment, you're not restricted by, the restriction of gas costs. And what that means is that if you're building an NFT or metaverse game, you can think about, a world where you can mint your NFTs for free, on the scale chain side, and then flip that model where when you want to monetize that NFT and send it back to Ethereum, you could use the interchain messaging bridge that's available within the Scale network to have the user push that NFT from the Scale ecosystem to Ethereum, or not. You can also have them further leverage the amount of gas transactions that they're saving by having that being shown on a NFT marketplace that's available directly within the Scale ecosystem. So what this means for that specific use case is that developers can develop without having to be hindered by massive gas costs for not just for their project but for the end user too. That also extends to something that's becoming very popular, and we're seeing more and more being leveraged within the Scale network, is play-to-earn games or P2E games. And Scale, we have some amazing features that help the game developers build their game out and have most of that gameplay live directly on the blockchain. With Ethereum, again, when you're kind of bogged down by the speed and the high gas costs, if you remove those frictions for game developers, what you're left with, again, is a developer that can develop their game exactly how they want to, which means that they can send massive amount of transactions in bulk to the blockchain, have it saved to the blockchain all at the same time, which enables them to kind of have a game that is able to be played in real time versus having it kind of seem kind of like broken up or scattered around as you're kind of like moving about the board, or a first shooter game or something like that. So I think, with those two use cases, those are two of the most popular ones, but it doesn't end there. I think because, Scale, it has an EVM that mirrors Ethereum, what that means is that the same ideas that you have on Ethereum, you can bring all of them to Scale and have them just run without all of the frictions that you're used to, which I think is really exciting for developers entering the space, and specifically for hackathon developers that will be attending ETHDenver.
Yeah, so DeFi, P2E games, metaverse, NFTs, these are all things that kind of you can develop on Scale. And we're super excited. We're sponsoring the layer 2 scalability section, but I think it's even beyond that, right? Because even by our definition, scalability is we think, leapfrogging it, going to be all about multi-chains. And I know Vitalik has talked about multi-chain networks and how that's going to be sort of the future. So we're really excited to sponsor that. Talking about ETHDenver, I mean, I guess I'm curious, maybe so that folks know, like, when was our first ETHDenver, right? Like it seems like a while ago. Most of us have been with the core team for a while.
I was trying to remember. It might have been 2018, 2019. It's been a while. We love ETHDenver. It's a great place to get to. It's a really great venue. And it's a massive venue. It's one of the biggest I've seen for a hackathon. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Christine. Yeah, you have been to a gajillion hackathons. I know because I've probably like a quarter of them I've been with you. Like, why are hackathons important? I mean, ETHDenver is, it's become this pillar, but do people know why hackathons are important?
Yeah, I think hackathons are very exciting for the Scale team, because we've gone to ETHDenver since 2019, and I think it's been awesome to see the amount of projects that come out and what gets built within a short amount of time. I think for projects that are coming, it's a great way to be able to see so many different products that are already been built on the blockchain and tie them together, pretty much like link in and start to actually engage with the projects that are there. So you'll be able to see a lot of the Scale team members there, actually access your questions directly, get direct engineering support. And so it's your way to kind of feel as if you're part of the organization in that way, with being really engaged with all of the projects, specifically Scale too. So.
Yeah. And in fact, not only will we have a booth there, which we would encourage you to stop by, we will be wandering around Sports Castle as we always have. There is a secret late night event that we sometimes do at our booth. I will leave it at that. But it's just kind of a hangout session. We're going to have some drop-in hours, so folks that can come in, they can ask questions. You will see Christine, you will see Chadwick, you will see myself. I really just end up pointing you to Christine or Chadwick. I'm curious. We talked a little bit about the fact that we're going to do a workshop. Christine, I think that's going to be all you. Maybe a little bit about what they're going to be able to do and see.
Absolutely. Every year we go to the hackathon, we love to be able to show like what's possible on scale. And so during this workshop, if you're a new developer, not a developer, or just want to understand like what's new and upcoming with scale, attend the workshop, because during that workshop, I'll be explaining to developers how to take an Ethereum application that we developed there and run that within scale, and give them the opportunity to see the differences in speed and cost and things like that. But again, I want to let you know that again, we are not ETH killers here. We love Ethereum, and so it's not an either or. It's a way to be able to enhance what you've already done with Ethereum. And so I think that's really great that comes out of the workshop, and we'd love to show you how to blend the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and it's some of the same tools, right? So Chadwick, maybe you could kind of chime in, like what are the types of tools that people who are using will be able to use, when they work with Scale?
Yeah, all your typical Web3 tooling, Truffle, Hardhat, Remix, IDEs, it's all compatible. All the same tooling that you can use on Ethereum, you can use on Scale. You can also use your typical wallets, MetaMask, Portis, any Web3, basically injector wallet, and so on and so forth. You can use side projects like the Graph for indexing your chain. You can also use internally on each scale chain, you actually have a file storage, a native file storage allocation. So you can choose to use other storage protocols, but you can also just store all your assets, like your NFT assets, on your scale chain itself. Yeah. It's a very simple, easy to use tool. It has a lot of power because you could basically host your own dApp website, like statically generated website, on your scale chain. So decentralized website, decentralized dApp protocol, everything on your scale chain. And then to top it all off, we have an IMA bridge that I'm super excited about. There's a lot of flexibility in this bridge. It uses BLS threshold cryptography to basically sign and shepherd messages between Ethereum and Scale. Really excited, a release coming up that will allow Scale to scale chain transfers. The great thing about this bridge is it supports out-of-the-box transfers of ERC20, 721, 1155 tokens. But the pure magic behind IMA Bridge is the core system, which is basically a messaging system. And you can do anything with this. We have out of the box, it supports tokens, but you can write any logic that just sends strings of messages or anything else between two chains. And you can also expand the user flow. Out of the box, we have like a recommended user flow of how you deposit tokens in and then withdraw or exit tokens from the bridge. But you, as a dApp developer, you can customize any type of logic, how the fees are paid, how to basically the user will exit. We call this sort of custom messages with IMA Bridge. So it's super flexible. What's just available in our repo is just a highlight of what you can do out of the box, but there's plenty that you can do deep dive into it. And the great thing about the bridge as well is it resolves transfers within seconds, and that's all done through the magic underneath with DLS threshold frequencies.
So we can hide Easter eggs like right in between those bridges. GitHub, best way to find our stuff, right? So Chadwick, do you want to give us the kind of the GitHub?
Yeah, github.com/scale network. That's all our repos. We have docs.scale.network. We'll get into our documentation portal that will guide you through, how to get started, how to work with IMA. There's some suggested templates for how to basically build the bridge, deployment scripts and whatnot. And then for ETHDenver, we'll have a site. I think it's ETHDenver.scale.network, where you can request a scale chain exclusive for the hackathon to develop on, and that's your scale chain provision to you and your team. And we have lots of scale chains that we're spinning up for the hackathon.
So Christine, I know you've done a lot of these. So best advice for hackers.
Best advice for hackers, I'd say definitely go and talk to the sponsors, learn about the tech. When you form your teams, start to see how many of those projects you can link up into one, because I think there's beauty in figuring out interoperability between so many different projects. And don't be afraid to try any idea, because while it's often said that not everything should live on the blockchain, I still think that it's worth at least trying to see what you can put on the blockchain. And so we've seen some really cool projects come out where I know the last year that was in person, There was a project where they linked it up to an actual satellite and sent an NFT out to a satellite and brought it back from the Scale network. And I thought that was really cool and really unique. So bring your unique ideas, and we can't wait to see it. And definitely look forward to ideating with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, we're going to be on the judging panel. So you will likely see Christine and our CEO, Jack. Jack is also a fixture at a lot of these hackathons. You know, I think one of the interesting things that's very different about our approach is we've been very developer first from day one. Most of our team, in fact, almost all of our team comes from startups that have been in the developer space. And so business developers are a really core differentiator of what we believe in, and also why I think ETHDenver has become such an important thing for us. I mean, we spend a lot of time and money and energy making sure that this goes well. So super excited. I think the last couple, notes is please, join our Discord, scale.chat. And then you can also go to our Twitter handle, which is @ScaleNetwork. Please also join our Telegram group. We have the official Scale Telegram group, and then we also have an announcement group where we roll out our announcements, and there are things on there kind of on a regular basis. And I'm going to leave it with Christine, parting thoughts.
Sorry, what was that?
It was Christine, parting thoughts.
Oh, party thoughts. Oh, parting thoughts. What I would say is, again, just can't wait to see you guys there. Looking forward to all the projects, and yeah, let's hack together.
Yeah, Chadwick, parting thoughts or party thoughts, which is funny because I thought I said parting thoughts, and then maybe it came out as party thoughts. So either one, you choose.
I'm super excited to see what people build. This is being in this industry and this ecosystem. It's just amazing, the creativity and technological know-how that everyone has. So super excited to see the projects. Let's build some crazy stuff.
There's a little bird that told me, Chadwick, that you have an extracurricular activity that you've actually showed off at ETHDenver. Can you tell us that extracurricular activity?
Oh, that was a different ETH global event. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us anyway.
Just DJing on at a side room at ETH Berlin. So I used to produce music. It's been a while since then. Too busy here with blockchain, but I'm a huge, crazy music aficionado. So if you want to talk tracks and music, stop by the booth. I'm happy to chat.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, cool. So again, I think you kind of know this is the team. The three of us will be there. Our CEO, Jack, will be there. We will have several folks from our biz dev and marketing teams there as well. So we will be all over the event. In addition to that, of course, don't forget Twitter, Telegram. For devs, Discord is going to be super important. It's a great way to do that. And then in addition, you can come to our website, scale.network. Most of our docs and things are up on there, and of course GitHub, where if you want to kind of get an understanding of what the code looks like, right? Come to Discord, and I think with that we're good to go.
I'm having party thoughts after learning Chadwick Moonlit is a DJ, especially after you alluded to some kind of late night affair at the Scale booth. So I look forward to seeing Chadwick on the ones and twos. I just want to highlight a couple things before I let you go that were really exciting to me. What jumped out with the file storage piece, I got really hyped. But what topped that was the bridge, as you were talking about the arbitrary logic and the messages and the resolving time. I was like, I'm new here. I started doing software development in last May, and I can tell how powerful that all is. So I appreciate you being developer first and noob friendly, just like ETHDenver always tries to be. We're really proud to have you as our sponsors for this track.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, good to see you all. Have a great rest of your day. And with that, we wrap up our final pre-event live stream. 1 week from now will be February 11th. My birthday, and we will be starting ETHDenver 2022. Before that, though, there's a couple more things that I need y'all to do. Number one, get in that Discord. If you don't have that Bufficorn, maybe you want one, but if you do, make sure you click that ta-da, get your VIP ticket. Number two, we got icebreakers right after this stream wraps over in our discord.gg/forkdow over in the Friday morning icebreaker. Text and voice, I'll be there Tyler will be there. And third, I just want to give some love to the virtual side of ETHDenver. We are doing everything. We are doing the most in Sked. We're going to have the Twitch links. We're flipping the YouTube videos day of, like I said, and we're going to have the virtual castle back through GamerJibe. Really excited to be working with Fernando Lee and the rest of the GamerJibe team to give y'all virtual participants the best experience possible. Half the money is for virtual and just as much of the talks. So I look forward to seeing you all in person and virtually 1 week from now at ETHDenver. If you haven't applied yet, you got about 1 more hour. With that, I'll sign off. Have a great rest of your day, y'all, and I'll see you in the Discord.